Hello, YouTube. We have two giggle sources in the background. We have Mr. Danielson over here. We just came home from regionals, and yeah, this is gonna be the deck profile for Mr. 5-1, second place.
Second place.
What was your matchups like?
I had round 1 Lunalite, round 2 was Pure Canine, then I was faced against my friend Ian playing Dracotail branded Magistus.
Shouts out Ian.
Ian, cool guy. Round 4 was Dracotail, round 5 I had Orcus the Mitsu, and round 6, which I lost, dude was on VS Canine.
Yep. He just had called by.
He just had everything. Every round he drew rosin. I'm telling you, he has it up his sleeve. Bro was cracked. Bro was insane. He just had everything he needed.
What were you on today?
I was playing Canine Mitsu.
Oh, really?
A lot of people tell me, oh, there's no bridge, there's no synergy. You can't tell me that Mitsu is bad if you can get a body that says negate droll on field before you activate Hawakiri.
That's true. That is true.
Right?
Is there actually a bridge though?
No, there is no bridge. It's just both
two good engines.
It's just two good engines that have a billion starters.
Yeah.
So either way, there's like a good 74% chance to draw both engine.
Yeah.
Speaking of probability, I think you can just get to the deck profile.
Right. We got the deck box.
We got the deck box all nicely
and the
signed by my
playmat signed by all the
signed,
people from locals.
Because I'm that guy. All right, we got main, extra, and side. We'll just put these away for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do it in that order.
Yeah. And then in the main, we first have 3 Hawakiri.
Of course.
I feel like at this point of the format, there's no explanation needed. They should have hit this engine, but you know, TCG exclusive, so nothing's gonna get hit.
At any point, did you forget that it was a once per duel effect? Or?
No, I wasn't that big of an idiot.
Yeah.
There was a lot more utility with it this time though, because I'll get into it a lot more in detail with the canine stuff. But there was a lot of points where the tribute target mattered a lot.
Yeah, like just the last round.
Yeah, like the last round. But also just like leaving the Saji on board to tribute something else came up a little bit.
Yeah, like the last round.
There you go. No. I got sacked by call by one, so you don't have to bring it up all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
But no, the utility on Hawakiri honestly becomes a lot more once you put in a secondary engine.
Such a good card.
Yeah, so it's amazing. Next, we have the one Murakumo.
Yep.
And then the one Futsu.
Yep.
The Murakumo, obviously, it's the boss stand board piece. And then the Futsu, a lot of people cut from the Mitsu engine. But for me, on the Canine engine, it doesn't have enough of a grind game that's facilitated by its own engine. So the Futsu to really give you more recursion, more on the crackback is a lot more valuable in my opinion.
And the Futsu definitely helps with playing into Full Loss, because you don't summon other than Habakiri effect, right?
And if you get Fuon, you can actually just give them at most 2 draws, most likely just 1 off the Habakiri if they chain it.
Yeah.
Then you can just go through mirror lines to get both the Futsu and the Murakumo out still. Provided you have the Hawakiri to search out the Murakumo first.
Right.
Next is the main deck monster, or I guess they're all main decked, but the little bodies.
The effect guys.
Aramasa, Kusanagi, and Saji. No explanation needed. Cut down to 1 now that there is the canine package in here. But yeah, no Knight Sword because that card is bad and it's a cope.
Kusanagi's so good, man.
I love Kusanagi. Kusanagi. Futsu for Kusanagi won me so many games. Alright, next is...
the spell cards for the engine.
Spell cards for the engine is 3 prayers.
Yep.
2 pre-prep and the mirror to go alongside with it.
I feel like 2 pre-preps definitely good. I played that in my list. I feel like 3 is just way too much.
3 makes it so it clogs your hand a lot more. A lot of times when you have 3, you would draw like 2 pre-prep and like Hawakiri or whatever, and it's just redundant to have 2 or have 3. If you play 2, it's just extra engine for consistency, but also if you draw like pre-prep mirror, it feels a lot better than if you had 3 pre-prep, because then the Habakiri, or like if you draw like pre-prep mirror Habakiri, because then you just had another pre-prep when you activated it basically. The prayers custom card, they should have put this to 1, you know. The fact that it can just dodge engine or dodge non-engine on your cards, make plays extendable.
Yeah.
And then it's disruption on your opponent's turn, bringing back the Murakumo. Crazy card.
Yeah, the engine.
And then the one ritual.
Did you get?
Also a custom
did
card.
they try to Ash the tribute from deck at all?
No,
Anybody?
no one had Ash.
Really?
Well, they'd Ash like my prayers if I did it in draw, because that's my non-engine bait. I always pretend to only have the prayers, so I just prayers in the draw phase, and then they'd Ash that. But afterwards,
I'll have Kiri.
Yeah, and then most of the time I'd have the K9 engine on field before I combo,
Right.
so then they'd be more hesitant on the Ash, even if I won't negate it, to be careful with the draw. Because then they're in fear I might have a Zuna or something, especially in like game 2 and 3. But
and that's it for the Mitsu engine.
yeah, that's it for the Mitsus.
Pretty fat, juicy Mitsu engine.
It is in fact half the deck. So moving on to the second engine, we have K9. We first have 3 Joko.
Yep.
So I went with 3 instead of 2 or 1 because with Noroi in the format now, summoning Joko off Noroi means you get to get Lantern, and then Lantern for case gets you another Joko, and then the Zuna gets you another 5 to summon the Joko out. If you have 2, you drawing 1 means you don't have as many good targets for case, and having 1 means you have to have a different Noroi target, which is far worse. But alongside that, if you draw like Joko and Hawakiri, this is what I was talking about with the different tribute targets. You can normal summon Joko, search Lantern, tribute Joko off of the Hawakiri to then bring it back with Lantern.
Yeah.
And then that gets you a Ripper for the K9 combo.
Or tribute the Violon and target a set back row.
So that is why I run 3. It's also a great extender for K9. So.
Yeah. The card's just crazy in general.
All the K9 cards are also just custom cards, let's be honest. Speaking of, there's the K9 Noroi. Dedicated normal in the deck feels really good after cutting down the Mitsus, because now Mitsu doesn't use a normal.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to make a rank 4.
Yeah, you
if
don't
you're
play,
weird,
you don't
if
play
you're
any
fucking
rank 4s,
weird,
do you?
No.
No?
Well, 1, but engine requirement, but
Yeah, well, because for K9, whatever,
But no, Noroi, the fact that you can look at their hand was really funny. Oftentimes I just send case to look at their hand, and then
a lot of people did that at the regionals.
And you just tailor your end board. I'll get back to that one when we cover the extra deck, but you can just just having perfect hand knowledge in this game is so broken.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that people sleep on Noroi. I did have to worry and play around a little bit more on its restriction. When you summon from deck, you have to summon a K9, or you have to send it for its effect to not be locked. But overall,
well, you're only locked out of the
good
extra
starter.
deck, right?
No, just special summon from in general. You can't special summon unless it's a K9 until you get rid of the body summon.
Oh, okay.
Right, next is the engine hand trap. It's 3 Azuna. One is signed by yours truly.
Card's crazy.
A lot of people played around it, which honestly I feel like helped me more than if they turned it on, because this is a empty threat now that you don't have paradise or whatever in the game. On your turn, if they ash you on a critical point, having Azuna doesn't mean you win the game anymore.
Yeah.
It means you get another rank 5, which this deck already has enough facilitated just off of the Noroi. So if I had case and another starter like Noroi, I would case for Azuna to have the empty threat, so then the people I was playing against would be scared to hand trap. This happened against the Draco Tail guy.
Which one? Ian?
No, it was my round for opponent. He was on pure Draco Tail. He would have like Ash and Droll in hand, but after I facilitate the Ripper on field and then I search the Zuna, he wouldn't Ash or Droll my things, even if that would like stop my turn, because he was scared of the Zuna. But in my extra, there's not good targets after Ripper and the second rank 5. So keeping the empty threat actually helped a lot more.
It's so good.
It's a great card.
It's
to
just
have people,
really good bait.
Yeah, and it just gets them thinking. I'm borrowing a term, but it adds to their mental stack. You have to have people think about a lot more things if you just search Azuna.
Right.
And after is 2 Lantern.
Yep.
A lot of people play 1. I went up to 2 for a similar reason as Joko. If you open this and have a Kiri, this is also the K9 you can normal summon to search another copy of itself through case. That
Because
way,
it can target itself, right?
No, it has to. Oh, in graveyard, yes, you can target itself.
So it's a 1-card combo.
It's a 2-card combo for the K9s if you have the Habakiri.
Yeah. And
that's why I went up to 2. It also is the only thing you can use to have a grind game in K9. Essentially, if you don't have this and then they don't activate a hand trap or a grave effect in your turn, you can't do anything with K9s unless they have, enough to facilitate a normal summon for Noroi, and then at that point you're committing your normal and blah blah blah. It's a lot more hoops you have to go through if you want to grind game, have a grind game in K9.
Yeah, you were talking about it at the regional, like exactly after your last round, that you put the
I put in another Lantern the night before when I was summoning my deck list, because I don't know, I was receiving the mandate of heaven.
Yeah.
And
it worked
almost
out.
every round it came up. So I'm really proud of myself for that. A little lucky, I guess, but sometimes when your deck build a lot, you just get those feelings. And then you have the one fucker.
Yep.
The fact he's named Lupus is very fitting. He is a disease I don't want in my hand.
It's always Lupus.
I drew him, I think, 3 times this regionals.
Which isn't bad.
Horrible.
I mean, if you open it, you can go into Typhon, but I don't think you're playing Typhon.
I don't play Typhon here, but the 1 out of 3 times I drew it, I had Azuna on field. I did Azuna also, so I could use the combo.
Chain 1, chain 2.
Yeah.
Just go from there.
And then the other 2 times I just had it as a brick.
Yeah.
Technically I drew it 5 times, but the other 2 was off of a Charmy, so that's cheating. Anyways, yeah, if this card said anything else but the effects, I would just cut it.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't the quick disease, it would not be in here.
Well, yeah, that's the only reason why the people are playing K9 right now anyways.
Quite literally. And then we got the 3 case.
3 case.
3 came up a lot, I'd say, to search as a search target.
Right.
The funniest thing that happened with 3 was I had 1 on board against round 4 pure Draco Tail. He negated it, and then throughout the course of the grind game, I got 2 more on field.
Oh, and he hand trapped, giving them.
And then he hand trapped on his turn. Oh no, he 5-mana'd on his turn.
Right.
He tried to go for game. At end of main, I summoned back Lupus, and Lupus was at 42, so he couldn't swing me for game.
That's so funny. Lupus is the GOAT.
I still lost the grind game because I couldn't top deck a Mitsu, but I still took it back on the round 3, so the attack gain is so funny.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. On 900 is such a big count.
And it makes
attack.
such a difference, especially when your opponent's trying to go for lethal.
Oh no. Having K9s on board and just activating case after you've been drolled sometimes just has you steal games as well.
Yeah, right. I agree. Even giving them just 900, it makes the calculations so much different for going for lethal.
I feel like this is the only fairly designed card in K9.
Yeah.
Everything else is custom, but this is 1 brick force release. Just an end piece just so I can go into werewolf and do another hand rip.
This also lets you play around Fualos for going against Yummy.
That's a big part. If they Fuad, on my Izuna or whatever, I just make rippers, set this, and then hope and pray.
Yeah.
Which sometimes was enough to like get me another turn. It was also useful dodging like imperm on my Azuna if I drew it.
Right.
But overall, not the best card, but it's what we have to work with in K9. After Millennium comes out, I'm gonna play pure K9 with this. It's gonna be great. Alright, that's it all for the engines. We got Mitsu and K9.
This is all non-engine?
And now we're moving on to non-engine, yeah. We got the mandatories, the Charmies here.
Yeah.
I have 2 Prulia, 3 Fua. I could give you a really nerdy explanation on why there is only 5 and not a 6th Prulia, but the realistic explanation is I'm poor. I couldn't get myself a 3rd copy, so I just played 2. Yeah. But honestly, I think this split is what I'm going to stick with, just to not find a 3rd Prulia, but also having Prulia just trade with the normal, honestly, is not the best thing if it's like not a deck that plays into Prulia a lot.
Right.
Against Yummy, it does do a number onto their combo lines. But realistically, you want to see like Fua and then maybe draw into the Prulia if it is Yummy, or you want to see Prulia and then draw into the Fua on their 1 normal.
Well, I mean, also going for the 3rd Prulia makes it really hard to get these Nerois,
Shoutouts to Dirk, he let me borrow his Norois for the regionals.
Love Dirk.
Oh, and so much money right now.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on, we have 3 Ash.
Yep. Card's just goated.
I mean, it's been a staple for the same reason it has been since release, but yeah. I think stopping Charmies now is my main use for this.
Well, and also the Draco Tail traps.
Right? Draco Tail traps, 100%. But it didn't come up too many times on my Draco Tail matchups this time. Usually I do Ash traps a lot, but now with how I play, I just know how to play around the traps a lot more. Just putting my monsters in defense and whatever. Right. So
but if you open Ash, you can kind of just care less.
Yeah, you just care less about a lot more stuff. Next up is 3 Droll.
Oh really? Okay.
I chose to main deck Droll this format because of how good Mitsu was as a splashable engine. Just having a card that stops entire splashable engine, in my opinion, was really good.
Yeah.
And the alternative to Droll would be something like Nibiru, which is also a turn ender. But now that Yummy plays Mitsu, it natively plays around Nibiru. So I didn't feel a need to include something like Nibiru over the Droll.
Oh, you're not playing Nib in the main?
No, I do not main deck Nib. My only other hand traps are the 3 Imperm.
Triple Imperm, yeah. How'd you feel about Imperm? I don't like it this format and the upcoming format just because there is a lot of dodging.
There is a lot of dodging, but if you think about your hand traps not as a card to make your opponent stop playing the game, but make their position a lot weaker, it actually helps a lot more. So theoretically, if it's Yummy, you can Imperm their Sorrow Cat if they're trying to do that line on your turn. Well, I guess not on your turn, but on on whatever to just stop their line.
Well, you could also just negate the Herald on your
negate
turn,
the Herald
right?
with the Imperm on your turn.
Because if you negate the Sorrow Cat, they just snatchy.
But if you open it as a board breaker, it's really useful. But as a disruption into K9, it's actually really good. Since it's not a monster, they can't Ripper it, so you can Imperm their Ripper, and a lot of times that turned off the K9 half whenever I play K9 in round 2 and 6.
And it also helps if you're opening these two, because you just negate the Ripper, and then they have to play more into Droll, right? So their M-Board is weaker. I understand that.
Yeah. And if you just think about how they'll dodge stuff and Imperm accordingly, it's actually a lot more useful than people think. But on to like the upcoming like Yummy more formats, I feel like I cut it for the Nibiru. But right now with K9 more as a much more prominent deck, I'm still gonna keep it.
And also, it doesn't play into talents, right?
That's the best
Trust,
part.
talents, yeah.
Yeah, and then speaking of is the two anti-hand traps, talents and called by.
You mean like one of the million anti-hand traps of the deck?
Non-engine.
Non-engine anti-hand traps, yeah.
The power spells, you know.
Man.
I lost to this. So.
Yeah. Not even the good artwork too.
No, round 6, K9 VS. It came down to Havakiri with Valen on full board. He had one set card that he top decked last turn. If I went to tribute Saji, it would play into a called by. If I tributed the Valon, it would play into an imperm. I gambled on it being imperm and it was called by, and he was there. We all freaked out about it.
Yeah, he sat down and like did statistics in his head.
I quite literally went through calculations, but no. Whenever your opponent hand traps and you have one of these, you just feel so sorry for them. Mm-hmm. Their one defense just gets neutered, and it's a great feeling. And that's it for the main deck.
How many?
This is 45 in total.
45?
There's about like, let's say 70% chance to draw both engines, and 90% chance to draw a starter. Can't go wrong with that.
Is there any cards that you would cut, or?
I think if I were to minimize the K9 engine for something that's more synergistic with Mitsu, if that ever comes out in the future. But honestly, I think this feels great. Obviously, if they hit prayers, they hit prayers.
So no changes until like
no changes until ban list or like new support.
Yeah.
I am thinking about maybe subbing out the mirror and pre-prep package for something else, just because of how many times I drew mirror pre-prep.
Right.
But that's negativity bias, and I think it's still a great package. So.
Yeah. Onto.
And we'll move on to the extra deck.
This is where all the goo is, eh?
This is, well, it's standard goo, but it's still the goo.
Yeah.
First is Ripper.
Yep.
MVP. Normal summon Noroi, summon Joko, no search, overlay into Ripper has gotten me so many scoops. Because they would open draw and then realize that they can't draw.
Yeah. Just card's really good. Helps against hand traps.
It searches, it negates hand traps, it insulates combos. It's the every card.
Yeah.
If you ever played like Pokemon and you had like a legendary on your team, this is basically that.
Yeah.
And then we have the other good canine monster, Mr. Werewolf Big Furry himself.
Just lost me a game today. The card is way too good, dude.
It's a good card, honestly, but as disruption, but I don't see myself running this after Burst Protocol.
Really?
The Millennium being a negate and a board wipe seems a lot more useful. And then after the board wipe, you don't have anything to go into Werewolf. Maybe on the crackback you can banish a card, but if at that point you can just run Hound to make the rank 5 on their turn first, to then banish on the standby.
That's fair.
So
and Hound just goes for game.
Yeah, Hound just goes for game so much easier sometimes.
Yeah.
So the Werewolf I don't think is necessary after Burst Protocol, but right now it's a really good card as disruption and to go in to use Force Release for the non-target pop. If it wasn't for Force Release giving you a non-target pop, I might just run another rank 5 over this. Yeah. But the fact that
this card's just crazy being able to do 66 with one swing.
But the fact you can have a non-target pop with the rank up spell makes this worth running.
Yeah.
Next is my least favorite thing I do in this deck.
Your least favorite? Why?
It's so unfair. And then it doesn't even feel good because half the time they play around this to get rid of it, which then helps me win the game. But it feels bad that I don't get to resolve this. It feels bad that I'm making this, and it felt bad I spent $50 on this.
Better 50 than 100 something, right?
Fair, but you know, it still feels really bad to go into this. But every time it resolves, it's like, it's fentanyl.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a drug.
Are you playing the dragon like you did with
the Tachyon? No, I will go into why there isn't space for Tachyon, but I really wanted to fit it in. Couldn't fit it in this time. Don't think it would have come up too much in today's run though.
Right.
So.
Well, you could already swing with game with a lot of good
exactly.
cards. No second Nash Knight?
No second Nash Knight. Again, extra deck is a little tight.
That's
the
fair.
2 Ripper is because it's just so recursive and it's such a good card, but other than that, there's not a lot of flexibility in the extra. So I just have the 1. Sometimes I wanted to just so I can board break, but that would require more numbers anyway. So the funniest play I did with the Nash package was round 6. He had Hollis on board. I was turn 0 Izuna combo for rank 5. I made Nash Knight, and then he chained, and then I chained to his effect to take the effect of Nash Knight to attach. Instead of attaching, because I knew he also had the package in his extra deck, instead of attaching the 104, I attached C104. So then he couldn't rank up into his own C Nash in order to make a free C104. And I think that was my favorite play in that game, in that match. But I still lost some.
Well, you really only lost to a 1-of. It's not that
You can
bad.
talk about a million ways I could have still won that, but overall I had a good run, so I'm not too mad about it.
Second place, you can't really be mad at that.
But no, it's attaching C104 to play around him making one was really funny in my head. Next up is just all the rank 5s you run. 1 Arc Rebellion, 1 Valon.
Those 2 are really good.
Valon is such a good card. Having stuff on when it's removed from field on top of the Book of Moon is really useful in the grind. And an Arc Rebellion was to swing for game over like towers and stuff. Against Lunalight, I had enough disruption that it didn't come up, but I was happy that it was in the deck for security. And then against the last round in K9 VS, I had Noroi for Jokol, and then on the Jokol on the summon of Jokol, he went Chain Unknown Force of Release, pop Jokol. If he didn't do that, if the set card was anything else except maybe Imperm or Force Release, I would have went Jokol for Lantern summon out 2 more, make Arc Rebellion, swing for game onto his board. I would have stole the game if it wasn't Force Release, bro. He Durandal mulliganed me for 7.
That's stupid.
And I bricked on Noroi. It was so dumb. Next up is rank 8s. This is the reason the extra deck is so tight, because the Mitsus are good at making rank 8s. Surprisingly.
That is very true, especially when you play Futsu, because you just go into either these 2.
So the Dragluxion was tech to make Hope Harbinger while detaching the 2 Mitsu names.
Oh, okay.
I preferred having Hope Harbinger over Photon Lord a lot of times when I'm building the board, so then I can negate their Lightning Storm or whatever.
And you already have Ripper for like Nibiru if it comes up, right?
So when you start your plays, you always just try to have a Ripper on field before you do anything else. So then the Photon Lord on your turn doesn't make too much sense.
Right. Yeah, if only you had this game, last game, round 6.
If only this was on field. If only I had Mitsu before turn 5.
Yeah.
Anyways, great package. The Photon Lord, I didn't make him at all today, but I think having him was definitely better than not having him. Yeah,
I agree.
Most of the time, the reason I didn't make it was because my opponent couldn't break my initial board anyway, so no complaints.
So it didn't really matter.
Yeah. Finally, the 3 cards in my extra, last 3 are the Link package for the deck.
Super sleeper.
Dynamondo is such a sleeper card.
Especially when you go IP into Dynamondo.
Shuffle back Havakiri, shuffle back one of their cards. Yeah, it's such a good card to just have the on-summon effect, have the reborn effect. And then IP into SP is the tried and true gay couple.
Yeah. At any point, would you cut IP for the second Nash, or do you feel like IP did its duties today?
I feel like having the layered end board with IP is so much better than just having another Nash.
Right.
Having cards in the extra that you can then use as disruption after maybe like a board breaker, like Lightning Storm, or to chain onto it and then make it indestructible. That was really helpful. And having an SP that can't be disrupted card effects is obviously really broken. And then going into Dynamondo sometimes to dodge things on your Murakumo was really fun as well.
And then at any point, if you didn't want to use parries, you tribute, summon back Murakumo.
Yeah, exactly.
And then blow up the board.
But overall, standard package.
Any changes you would make to the extra deck, or do you feel like this was pretty good?
I think if I had insane foresight and knew that I was gonna win 5 out of 6 dice rolls, I would cut the Sotan Lord for Vamana. Just so then the K9 cards have another negate I can go into. But, you know, you can't predict those things. So.
Right, yeah.
And lastly, time for the side deck. First off is all the utility. First, we have 3 Bell.
Yep.
I really like Bell as a hand trap this format. Not to main, but to side when you know it's really good. Like into Dracotail, like into Yummy. I would side it out versus other decks that have 2 solar bullets, like the Nibiru or Droll.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are usually like rogue decks.
Exactly.
Ghost Bell more hits like the Mitsu engine or Dracotail.
Dracotail
which is
traps,
really good.
which is really
Yeah, because if you open this plus Ash plus full combo,
the utility
you just don't care about Dracotail.
The utility of this is as well just have more non-engine that you can sub into when you're maybe going first to side out the Charmies, or if you know Droll isn't a good hand trap into them,
right.
like into or Droll and Nibiru, like into Dracotail specifically. Came up a little bit. I would always side in 2 and then draw both. Now that I'm siding in 3, I only see 0, so it's great. And the next up is the Big Rock himself. Drew it twice, used it both times, and won the game. So, I don't know, I think it's a good card.
Yeah, Nib is super, super good.
Having a board wipe on your opponent's turn is just insane, especially into Yummy, when they can't play around it. But nothing I can really say more about these cards. They're just insane non-engine.
Really good, yeah.
Speaking of insane non-engine, we have the going first package for 1 cross out, judgment, and 2 strike in the Mitsu trap.
So you're playing 2 judgment, essentially.
Yeah. So 2 judgment, 2 strike.
Would you cut strike for Dark Bribe, or do you think strike is much better?
It's the bell curve. I'm in the middle. They're gonna have so much 1-card combos. I can't give them 1 draw.
That's true. But if you open Dark Bribe plus Droll, you just win game, no? But yeah.
But no, Yummy getting an extra draw off Dark Bribe honestly is like the only reason I don't want to run it. Like you negate their crucial synchro summon back, whatever, but their 1 draw is that 1 Yummy name they haven't used, and with a snatch on field, they still win the game. So
yeah. Why no main deck?
The cross out is purely for going first because I need to know what hand trap they are gonna run. So especially into meta decks with a lot more options for non-engine, I would just side in like 1 Nibiru, 1 Droll. Right. If they don't lose to Droll, or if they do lose to Droll, I'll just keep in the 3 Droll. But without knowing what non-engine they run, having this to counter Charmies is a really bad idea, honestly, because then you have to first expect to be going first, which, you know, 50-50.
Well, I mean, your deck also just plays around every Charmy except for Meows.
Essentially.
And nobody's playing Meows at all, so...
Having a really good engine also helps to not run cross out, but it's also just to, like, get down to 45.
But yeah,
couldn't complain. I drew 2 strike back to back against Lunalight, and it negated. Because I used to play Lunalight, I know the chokes. I negated each choke, and it gave me 1 turn each to then draw on Tabakiri. It felt great. Yeah, it was amazing.
So just open God Hand. And
then open good hand, and I won the game. Yeah. And next is the going second cards.
Yeah, super good, super.
Wosu, super great.
So you just this locks you into reptiles, correct? For the rest of the turn.
Yeah, but usually I would still just use the canines first, unless it's just like a full Mitsu hand and I don't care about it. Evenly, I think, is the best board breaker currently in format, because almost all the meta decks usually don't end on a trap negate, except maybe the Herald on the Yummy, which is so easy to bait.
Well, you just target it, and they either have to get rid of it or like just let it be negated.
Exactly. But aside from that, there's not really any trap negates that decks end on. Draco Tail ends on a spell negate.
A spell negate specifically, which is so dumb.
The best thing ever for when you open evenly.
Yeah.
It also gets sort of a lot of their grind game, having them banish at least one of the trap.
Yeah.
So it came up a lot. Against
round
Lunalight,
6.
once again, I had a really cool play in mind that I wanted to do, but I had evenly Vosu, Futsu, Murakumo. I went, and then and then I had Imperm to somehow end his turn. So on my turn, I went Battle Phase evenly. I thought, if he keeps a monster, I can tribute with Wosu, Futsu, and one of his monsters to then search Ritual, and I can win that way. And then they kept a spell. I still won because he was breaking off Droll, but if I was really sad I couldn't get to do that play.
Yeah, Wosu is just so good, especially being like an additional 2-card starter, right? It's
insane.
Yeah.
Board breaks, starts combos, it frees up gummy hands.
Actually, does it activate or no?
It's not. No, it's a kaiju. It doesn't activate. So it's better.
You just win against Lunalight.
Literally.
So it does not matter. You just win against Lunalight. This is Sky Striker, but better. Yeah. super great deck. Any shouts outs?
Shout out to Dirk, who let me borrow 2 Noroi for the regionals.
Shouts out to Ian for losing.
Achilles, Keegan, and Anakin did a lot to support and help me practice.
Yep.
And I don't think I could have gotten to this point getting second if I didn't have them to bother to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Much love. Congrats on your regional top. We go Nats next year, baby. Woo!
Honestly, shout outs to all these people, man.
Everybody from locals.
They all helped me out immensely to get this top.
And we go Nats
2026.
Woo! All right. Peace.